Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now, I actually don't know where I'm going with this video. I just watched a random little clip from Joe Biden and immediately opened up the mic and said, I just got to make a video on this. I don't even know what the content is going to be in the end. I mean, we'll probably figure it out at some point. But get this, folks. It's another video covering another Joe Biden dementia moment. Wow, who would have seen that one coming? In another gaffe-ridden speech, this time during a White House climate summit, Joe Biden, I guess inadvertently, said that he has cancer. Folks, the meme of the day says it all. Erase that number, folks. Officially, once again, 0 days since the last nonsense coming out of the president's mouth. I mean, it's actually crazy. I can't stop making these videos. I don't even know if they're getting old. Some people say they're getting old. Some people want me to keep clowning on this guy. I don't even know what to do anymore. It's too much. You know, really, if I think about it, I think I actually want to break from this. I want to break from the Joe Biden gaffes. I want to go back to mean tweets. Mean tweets were funny, at least. That was probably the greatest timeline ever. This, however, I don't even know how to describe it anymore. Every single day is a new ridiculous Joe Biden moment. And this one is definitely up there, folks. Joe Biden inadvertently claims to have cancer. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, take a look at this.
My mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening. You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Can we get an update from the White House over this? Can we get the fact checkers on this? Is President Joe Biden okay? I mean, the simplest and most obvious explanation is that Joe Biden's brain is just not working, and it's just another gaffe. But at the same time, maybe not, and maybe this is the perfect motivation that Joe Biden needed to finally dig down and get real serious and work real hard at one of his campaign promises, which was, of course,
if I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes in America is we're going to cure cancer.
Well, now Joe's really got to stick to that campaign promise, almost like his life might even depend on it. But one thing's for sure, his political life certainly depends on him not looking like a complete fool and turning his public image around. And well, let's just say that's really not looking so hot for Sleepy Joe and his Democrat goons. Democrat voters, of course, at this point just must be giving up. I guess it's a common denominator. Repetition of failure. I was just mentioning in the intro how Joe Biden continues to make gaffe after gaffe after gaffe, and we keep covering it. Well, another thing that we keep covering and another thing that keeps happening is Joe Biden's approval rating keeps going lower. He keeps hitting newer and newer lows. The most recent Quinnipiac poll was just released, and Joe Biden's approval rating among all adults was 31%. Among registered voters, 33%. We've been here before many times. Joe Biden making lower and lower lows. I mean, just look at the chart, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times where Joe Biden hits an all-time low, recovers a little bit, like in the stock world, called a dead cat bounce, and then immediately sinks down even lower. The question at this point is, how low is this guy gonna go? Well, if he keeps doing what he's doing, and if more people keep waking up to the cognitive decline of Sleepy Joe Biden, then he's going to keep going lower. It's never going to end. The mainstream media has had control for so long, but you can only hide the truth so much until people finally start to realize what's really going on. Eventually, people are going to wake up. People are going to see what's really going on. Of course, the White House is trying as hard as it can to keep basement Biden in the basement. Recently, a lot of people have been talking about how Joe Biden's schedule is basically empty and the guy's done nothing for like 3 days straight. He's had no scheduled events, just an empty schedule. Karine Jean-Pierre was questioned about it, where she responded like this.
Involved in these meetings today, or what exactly has he been doing yesterday and today?
So he's been in meetings. I was scheduled to meet with him today in the Oval Office. So he's been meeting with his senior staff. He's been meeting with a staff. I think some of you may have seen him when the First Lady of Ukraine was visiting with our First Lady. I believe you saw him very briefly. So he's just been very busy dealing with the issues of the American people and meeting with his staff and senior staff the last 2 days.
well, he's just so busy, doing things like, meetings and such. He's just very busy. I wish there was 24/7 cameras, live feed streaming from inside the Oval Office and inside the White House. I mean, that'd be true transparency. Because when Karine Jean-Pierre says that Joe Biden is really busy, I have a feeling this is what Joe Biden is really doing. I mean, to me, based on the information, based on the facts that I have available to me, that is the only logical conclusion. There is nothing else that Joe Biden could possibly be doing. There's nothing else that I think he's capable of doing other than this. Well, the Democrats can't run away from it anymore, folks. And the proof is in the data. Of course, the same concept we've been covering a lot lately, the continued exodus of the Democrat Party. We have Gallup polling data showing that absolutely nothing has changed over the last year or so, basically since last August during the failed Afghanistan withdrawal. And this is one of the strongest midterm prediction indicators out there. Gallup survey asking individuals, do you consider yourself a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent? 27% Republican, 27% Democrat. An even split. How can I say this? That's real bad for Democrats, but here's where it gets even worse. Asked of independents, as of today, do you lean more to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? 46% of independents leaning Republican as opposed to 45% Democrat. Joe Biden has people signing up for the Republican Party like nobody else. And of course, it doesn't end there. I have more polling data to show you guys. 56 Battleground District poll by Fabrizio Ward and Impact Research. This was a poll conducted by two polling strategist groups, one Democrat and one Republican working together. So it's basically as nonpartisan as it gets. Joe Biden's approval sits at 37%. Republicans lead generic congressional ballot by 4%, which may as well be 10% when you really break it down to the districts. And here's where Republicans have Joe Biden to thank. All voters leading by R+4. Voters over 50 leading by R+9. Republicans leading with independents by 7. Democrats, of course, maintain their lead with women voters by 6%, but we don't know where the independents are going to split. Men are splitting for Republicans by 16 points. Voters between the age of 50 and 64, Republicans by +11. Over 65, Republicans by +8. And then when you get into the different racial groups, white voters above 50 years old, Republicans +16. Hispanics above 50 years old, Democrat +5. That's almost an even split, which is absolutely unheard of. Black voters voting for the Democrat Party by 65%, as opposed to 90%. I mean, that's pretty significant as well. Bear in mind, there's a decent amount of undecided, but still 16% support for the Republican Party within the black community, specifically above the age of 50, is bad news for the Democrats. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders splitting basically 50-50 at 41 to 44, with a Democrat +3 spread. Folks, three things remain true. First, there is no shift, Democrats. Second, it's the economy, stupid.
After Joe Biden became president, it has been a dramatic change in the economy, gas prices, overall. We really don't have good leadership.
I don't see how anyone can vote for these people to stay in power and could continue down this road that's ruling the country.
And thirdly, Joe Biden remains the greatest red pill, the greatest endorsement for the Republican Party, the greatest catalyst leading towards political party shifts seen in a very long time. Oh, and I guess we could add a fourth one to the list. One thing that also remains true, Joe Biden's brain nowhere. Another ridiculous gaffe from the worst president in modern American history, and certainly the most embarrassing and the most unqualified president in American history, not modern American history, and that is by far not even close. This guy should have never been allowed to run. And like I've said many times before, Biden voters, you should seriously be ashamed of yourselves. That's what I got for you guys on this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. I'm going to get back to work. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.